Have you ever felt overwhelmed with a project or something that other people may say is simple, like filing something or communicating something to someone electronically or in person, and you just don't know how to do it? Today, I'm going to show you how to break down big problems, overwhelming problems into bite-sized pieces and not only break them down to that, but also how to process breaking them down so that you don't stagnate and you can keep on going and keep doing beautiful, amazing things. Hey there, my name is Imanni and I write music for mental health awareness. Welcome to Mental Health Music Lessons. Today we're going to be talking about breaking down big problems into small, bite-sized pieces by looking at a song I was working on. I always encourage my students to write your own music, write from your heart, improvise, because this is the way that you're really able to use music as a healing tool inside your life. So this is a song that I wrote when I was feeling passionate. I was I had a lot of passion inside of my heart and I needed to write something slow and low because I was feeling down and I just wanted something that I could listen to help me feel like I wasn't alone. The name of this song right now is called Ecstasy. I may be changing that, but it's all about how a girl I liked in my past helped me feel energy, and I missed her a lot. So this song is all about that. Ecstasy, I'm yours. This is actually a fairly long song. If you go to the top of your screen on your Logic application or your DAW system, your digital audio workspace, and you change it to beats and time, you can drag this over and see that this song is about over 6 minutes long. So many times in my past, I used to get really overwhelmed when I had a big song I needed to edit and I just didn't know what to do. The big problem was because I did not know where to start. The first thing to do is to figure out what's the smallest, most simple thing to start. Sometimes it's as simple as opening up the application. Sometimes it's as simple as opening up the computer. Find yourself where you are. No step is too small. When you figure out what step you have to do, I want you to write it down because having it there will also help you, especially if you're unable to do it immediately, if it's giving you anxiety, if you're having difficulty breathing or you're feeling chills all of a sudden or your hands get really sweaty and you just feel super overwhelmed with the process. That's okay. It's normal. It happens. Life is tough, but we're going to get through this. So you can write it down on paper, on your computer, on your phone, and we're just going to check those steps off as they go. So for me, my first step that I need to do is this. I need to add markers to the song. So I like to use comedy to help me out. So I wrote Jesus take the take the my wheels to do because comedy helps me laugh, which helps me forget about anxieties and helps me know that okay, allows my brain to reset a little bit and be like, I see the first thing is to add markers. I know how to do that. And I specifically chose this task because it is easier and relaxing for me to do. Many times, the hardest part of getting something done is just starting. So, figuring out where that starting point is, as small as it may be, I think of it like a ball rolling down a hill, where when you get started, it's a small ball. You don't have a lot of momentum. But as that ball rolls down the hill, let's say it's a snowball, it continues to go faster and gains more snow, and soon it's a really big ball. And it's rolling down, and I think of that ball as the momentum of your passion to getting something done. So we're going to start small and then we're going to get bigger. So, about a second into doing this, I found that there was something else I needed to get done before adding a marker. And you may be tempted to go to your list and add that thing before the first step that you wrote down. As tempting as this is to help you feel more fulfilled, this can actually lead you on a path of creating additional subtasks to the point where you're not actually completing one of the tasks that you set down. So what I want you to do is to try to avoid that. Let me show you the situation I ran into. I was about to add a marker And then I realized, and I'll back it up a little bit, that this song doesn't start on the downbeat. There's a complete measure of silence, or at least there's some rain ambience, and then we get into the music. So I was tempted to go back to my list and put down like a push this over and then just write that I need to delete this and start everything off in the beginning. But I did not do that. And I didn't do that because I said to myself, okay, I'm going to get to this first step. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to this first step and try to focus as hard as possible to get to this first step. And I'm not going to write any new steps in here. In the end, it was a really easy fix to correct this. And then right after it was corrected, I said, okay, back to square one, add markers. I keep on bringing myself back to the step that needs to get done so I can stay focused on it. In extreme situations, sometimes I even tell myself, you know what? I don't have to do that right now. I'll do that later. If there's a task that comes to my mind that I'm not exactly sure is essential to get done to get the primary goal done. And right now, the primary goal is to work on this song. It's not super big and overwhelming. I just told myself something that's reasonable, something. Sometimes we can't make a SMART goal, which is when you have something that's specific, something that's measurable, something that is A, obtainable, R, realistic, and T, time bound. Sometimes when we're anxious, we can't make those types of goals, and that's okay. So we simply make a very abstract goal so it feels like there's no weight on our shoulders and we can do it. We say, this will take some amount of time. We want to get some amount of this done. We're going to do it. And going into a project, an assignment, or anything that you have to do, a chore, or just a duty, like going into it with that type of mindset will help ease anxiety. Here's an example of me avoiding certain tasks and getting the task that needs to get done, done. I just created the labels intro and verse 1. In the process, I noticed that I think this measure needs to be deleted at some point, and I also realized I probably should rename these sections verse 1, verse 2, etc., to match the markers up there. But I told myself, I can get that done later. I'm not going to even write it down. My memory is beautiful. I'm sure that if it's important, my mind will remember it later. And if it's not important, then okay, I forget it and hopefully I'll remember or someone will remind me, and that's okay. And then I simply go back to my task at hand, add markers, and I added those two markers. Okay, cool cat. Now it's time for you to practice taking a big task and breaking it down into bite-sized pieces and staying focused on accomplishing those bite-sized pieces. I hope that you learned something about music, about adding these sections to songs, and also about mental health, tips and tricks to help you avoid procrastination and be able to accomplish your goals. This has been Imanni from Imanni Music. I hope you have a mentally healthy rest of your day. See you at the next video. Bye.